Right, today I am playing with another of the Head Lynx Tour strings. I previously played with Champagne and the Orange. Orange was livelier, Champagne beautifully plush feel, great connection, really liked that one. Now I'm using the black version of Head Lynx Tour. Like the others, it's six-sided, and I have spent the last week on a little bit of a roller coaster ride with this, and I'll explain why. And I'm going to talk through today the good, the not so good, and who I think it's for. Just to mention one of the really good things, you can get a reel of this for £79 in the UK, or you can get a set for just under £7. So it's a really cost-effective string, and it definitely performs for a certain type of player. So I've strung this up in my Technifiber T-Fight. This is the 300 gram 16 by 19. It is the 1.25. And before you freak out, I string this quite high. I use Solinco Confidential normally at £54 in a full bed with a pre-stretch of 10%. I decided to go with this at £55 full bed with a 10% pre-stretch. Don't recommend that for most people, but for me, it suits my game. I swing hard through the ball, and this tension actually worked really nicely for me. I'll talk about tensions though later on in terms of who I think this is for and who it's not. There are some people who think that if you take a string like Head Lynx Tour, which comes in 4 colors, orange, gray, champagne, and black, that the color does nothing to the string. I've now played with 3 of them. They all play completely differently. Color absolutely can, and in this case does, make a difference to the string. Now, I've read a lot about this string, which is a lot of people say it is dead and muted and very stiff, not very comfortable, doesn't really seem to be the most popular, which I think is why this is cheaper than the other colors you can buy. So in terms of my experience, so through this week, the first day I hit with it, that was my daughter. We were using some Dunlop Forts, which are relatively slower, and in this weather it's colder, a little bit softer, and I kind of quite liked it. Note I was playing with a vibration dampener, which I haven't got on here. So I kind of liked it then. I played the second day in the squad that I hit in, where I felt it was dead and muted and stiff. I could control the ball and power wasn't really a problem. Just felt nothing off the string bed at all and kind of was like, yeah, I don't really think I like this. Third day I took it out and hit on the ball machine. And funnily enough, I took the vibration dampener off and put that in my main racket. I didn't have it on here and I kind of thought, I should actually try this without. And all of a sudden, without a vibration dampener, it came to life. And I started to work out who this is actually for, which I really couldn't understand before that. And then finally, I've been hitting with a couple of times today where, gotta tell you, this has to be now my favorite string, but I'm not gonna use it. And I'll tell you why. So first, let's talk about the performance. And this kind of leads into actually why I'm not going to use it yet. So it's a stiff string. Now, people will say, well, if you strung it lower, it might soften up, might open up. I don't think so. It's a really stiff, kind of unresponsive string if you do not get it in the sweet spot. So to be honest, I don't know that you would string this lower. If you want a lower string that's a bit more forgiving, a bit more plush, I think you would go and play the other colors of Head Lynx Tour. I think this is designed to be stiff and crisp. So actually a higher tension doesn't matter if you are striking in the sweet spot with good mechanics, good timing, and good racket head speed, because when you hit it in the sweet spot, the feeling is awesome. It comes off the racket really nicely. With the shape on it, you get really great spin, and you just feel like the boss. However, don't get it in that sweet spot. It lets you know about it in spades. It is so unforgiving. It's unbelievable, which is where for me at the moment, I'm just not that good to be able to strike the ball as I'm working through, particularly the mechanics of my forehand, getting the timing right, striking it just in that sweet spot. I can't do that every ball. So for me, I'm not ready for this. I see myself using this next year, to be perfectly honest. And when I do, I already look forward to that moment because it will mean that I kind of progressed, I think. I will say, I've logged probably 5-6 hours on this. Durability wise, it's notching, and that's both on the mains and the crosses. Some people do say in general, I think Lynx Tour does tend to notch and look up. To be honest, I'm not too concerned about that. I'm getting the spin off the shape, I think. I don't know about snapback, I'm too concerned. Lynx Tour Champagne, I played that for 12 hours or so, and I got what I wanted out of it. So to be perfectly honest, for me, don't really mind so much. But for those of you who want the string to move a lot, it may well look up prematurely. So then let's talk about the practicalities of setting this up and using it. Definitely, it's absolutely true. You could string this a lot lower and it may well open it up a bit, but I don't think it's going to take away from the fact that out of the Head Lynx Tour family, albeit I haven't tried the grey or silver, it's not responsive, it's not comfortable, it's not soft, it is deader. And therefore, again, I think if you were saying, well, I'd like that, but I'd like it to be softer and more plush and a bit more free power, go and use the orange, or people talk about the silver, which I'm going to try as giving more free power. I don't think you're going to do that with this string. Another consideration is, I think this is purely, one thing I wouldn't use this for is just if I'm hitting with the kids or being there, basically being coached, just playing balls, because it's not the easiest to do that. It really wants you to swing hard at the ball and connect and hit quite aggressively with it. Otherwise, you're just not getting rewarded. For that, I probably would use a softer string with a bit more free power so I didn't have to work so hard. One interesting thing is, could this actually get even better in a tighter stringing pattern? Either the 18 by 19 like the 305S from the T-Fight, or just a regular 18 by 20 string pattern. Maybe it actually suits a super control player who actually has good mechanics, timing, swing speed, and hits in the middle. It may get even better with a tighter string pattern. I'll get to that because I'm going to start reviewing rackets. So overall, I'm amazed that I've come off this saying I actually think this is better than Solinco Confidential, which is my preferred string. It's just I'm not ready for this. It's something I'm going to have to grow into, but I seriously think next year I'm going to go back and say, yeah, I'm ready for this, because this, when you get it in that sweet spot, haven't really felt anything quite like it from any other string in terms of how it comes off the string bed. That said, I don't think most people are going to use this. What it definitely is not for, this is not for a player who wants comfort, who doesn't swing hard, whose timing isn't spot on, who doesn't hit out the middle of the racket, who wants it to be forgiving and wants it to feel quite lively and not so dead or muted. It sounds like a terrible string, but when you hit it right, it's a fantastic feeling. So all in all, the Head Lynx Tour family so far, I'm a bit of a fanboy of it, to be perfectly honest. That said, I'm still using Solinco Confidential as my main string, but I do love this string, and it's great to see how the different colors provide something completely different. Maybe there's a case for hybriding them with different strings. Love to know if you've tried this, your experience. Of course, if you have strung it lower, then what did you get out of it? Does it materially change? Did you find that you used it and frankly, you absolutely hated the thing? And did you find there are differences between the different Head Lynx Tour color varieties? Always awesome to get your thoughts. Head Lynx Tour in the black. Yeah, who would have thought that I'd have been loving this thing?